All right, guys, we're back. So I had to restart the meeting because I ran out of my time on Zoom. So we're just gonna jump back on and finish the meeting. Where were we? I think we were right there. All right, so let's jump back on. So this is part 2 of Essential Oils class, lesson 7, producing therapeutic grade essential oils. So I'm going to continue off where I was leaving now. So let me just read this again, just because I think I don't know when I noticed that Zoom was done. So let me just read this. The oil and water mixture continues to flow into the separator where the oil rises to the top and the water, so it can be drained off into containers. Clove and nutmeg are distilled this way. So the next kind of distillation process, how does that go? Process, sorry. The next distillation process, I'm sorry, guys. Anyway, the next one is hydro distillation. So resin is material like frankincense and myrrh are extracted through method of hydro distillation. The resin is immersed with boiling water that is in constant motion with steam and is injected into the chamber. I'm getting foggy eyes, guys. The residue goes into that influence. I'm not sure. I think I got some typos there. Anyway, it goes with the steam, which carries to the condenser, where the steam and vapor are gradually cooled to liquid form. The water and oil mixture travels into the separator, so that the oil cooler flows to the top and the water is poured into containers. And then the next one, of course, is traditional distillation. So today, a traditional method of steam distillation is still used around the world. Plant material is loaded into the extraction chamber and tightly compressed. The boiler heats the water. Steam is released into the bottom of the chamber and starts to travel outward, saturating the material. The steam impregnates the plant fiber, causing it to release the oil molecules as a gas from oil glands of the plant. Then the steam carries the gas to the condenser, where it goes through a phase change. The condensation, it passes through the cooling process, the swan neck, and liquefies into water and oil. So the water and oil mixture flows into the separator, where the oil can rise to the top of the water, and then to be poured into containers, such as these. Processes of steam rise and carries, releases oil vapor into the condenser, where the water and the oil vapor are converted to liquid and flow into the separator, so that the oil can rise to the top and water can be drained out. So, like I showed you, I'll go back to another slide that I had and show you how that works. So this slide, like I showed earlier, and since this is a part 2 on Zoom, it'll be a refresher for the last lesson if you're watching weekly or all of my videos on YouTube, that is. This will be a bit of a refresher on what we talked about in this lesson as well. In part 1, you can see that the oil and the waters are separated. The oil rises to the top, and the water is then drained into these steel containers at the bottom right here. So that's, and then also again, another reminder to those of you that are on Facebook. All right. So, okay, yeah. So Young Living, the world leader in essential oils and distillation. During the 20-plus year history, Young Living essential oils have proven again and again to be the world leader in essential oils. With installation in January 2014 of true state-of-the-art large distillation or distillery. Let's see what it says. Sorry, large capacity computerized distillery in Highland Flats Trees Farm in Naples, Idaho. Gary Young ushered in a new era in this distillation for the production of essential oils and proved the obstacles where so much are eliminated. I think there's a lot of typos there, you guys. So we get the point here that Gary Young has purchased a state-of-the-art distillery in Highland Flats Trees Farm in Naples, Idaho, and it's a production of essential oils, of pure therapeutic essential oils. So let's go to slide 13, and that's, I believe, yeah, we're on slide 13 already. So hey, awesome. All right, so the world's first fully automated state-of-the-art distillery was installed in 2014 at Young Living's Highland Flats Trees Farms in Naples, Idaho. So that's the picture of it right here. So it's, or is that the right picture? I don't think that's the right picture. This is the right picture right here. So this is the slide that we're talking about. This is the distillation farm that is in Highlands. Where is that again? Highland Flat Trees Farm in Naples, Idaho, or Naples, Idaho. I'm not sure how to pronounce that city, but it's in Idaho. So that's just a picture showing you that this is their state-of-the-art farm that has computerized monitoring, which is pretty neat. And I actually see the video on YouTube of Gary Young talking about it himself. So he's passed now, but you know, the company continues on with his wife and with his sons. All right, so after Highland Flats Distillery, let's try that again. After Highland Flats Distillery was finished, in addition, two stories were built, one in Canada and one in Croatia. So Northern Lights Black Farm, Fort Nelson, British Columbia. In 2014, Gary broke ground for a new distillery located 8 miles outside Fort Nelson, British Columbia, Canada. Mile 308 on Alcon Highway. So they also have one there too, which is awesome, because the really neat thing about these farms and these distillery places is that you can go and visit them, which is something that I want to do. It's something that's going to be on my vision board. My goals is to go and visit a farm. So I would love to go visit a lavender farm. I would love to go visit Northern Lights Black Spruce Farm, and I certainly would be interested in going to visit this farm because it's in Canada. It's in British Columbia, which is a bit away from where I am, but I mean, I could save the money and fly there. That's my dream. And also too, My dream is to also go to one of the conferences that they have each year. Okay, so Split Clodia Farm. In May 2015, Young Living purchased two-story commercial buildings in Split Clodia, totaling in 16,580 square meters, which includes several offices, conference rooms, warehouse space, two large space for distillery, an enclosed boiler room, bottling and labeling rooms, laboratory with a GC instrument for testing oils, and a laboratory with a GE. Yeah, I think it put it in there twice for me. Anyway, it's amazing that they have that. So distillery operators say that distilling is both the art and science. Gary Young combined research and science with more than 25 years of experience in engineering, designing buildings and operating 9 existing distilleries and 5 different countries. I think that's what it says. All of the distilleries that Gary Young has built throughout the world on 5 continents are bringing forth great discoveries in the modern day of distilling, making him the only person in history to have distilled such a worldwide scale. Consistency and increased control, allowing Young Living to further ensure the purity and quality of its world-class products. Products that I love, they are the best. I mean, you got to try them to agree, but you know, it's just, let me just quickly say something before I go on to the next page. A lot of people are thinking, I don't know if I should try Young Living essential oils. I mean, I'm going to tell you right now, you do not want to try oils that are sold in the stores that you can walk into that are easy to grab off the shelves. You do not want to use those oils because they are full of chemicals and synthetic adulterated oils. They have labels on them that make them look, that say they are 100% pure, that say that they are therapeutic grade oils, but they're not. So the only place you can get 100% pure, potent, therapeutic grade essential oils is through Young Living. So, so if you're like thinking, I don't know if I want to try it. I don't know if I want to waste the money and try something. But let's put it this way. You know, you can buy, where is it? Right here, I have a bottle of caraway. All right. I have not really used it yet myself, but I'm going to. I need to read what it does for you again. I did read it once, but I forgot about it. I didn't forget about the oil. I forgot what it does for me. So, you know, this oil, this little bottle of oil, 5 milliliter bottle of oil, you can get this at Young Living for $10.75 sold wholesale, which means you have to be a Young Living member to get this oil at this price, right? Because if you sign up as a Young Living customer, you're going to be paying retail price, and it's probably going to be a little bit more, right? So you can buy this for $10.75, right? Or you can try one of these oils. These are the ones with the white labels. These are what am I trying to say? These are our plus line oils, our dietary. And dietary basically is oils that you can use in your food and beverages. So right now I'm holding on to parsley. So you can get oils like this that are like $7.95 at Young Living wholesale. Again, you're gonna get the wholesale prices as a member, right? So $7.75 or 95 cents. A lot of our Not all of them, but a lot of the dietary oils that have the white labels here, you can get those between $7 and something and 15, maybe $19, right? So what am I saying is that when you're considering trying something and you're not sure about trying it, you know, because maybe you don't want to waste money, or maybe you're afraid that it's not going to work, all you can do is try it, right? I mean, think about it this way. You go to a restaurant and somebody adds something new, the restaurant adds something new to the menu, right? Maybe, who knows what it will be, but it's something that the restaurant, maybe your favorite restaurant that you go to, they add a new item to the menu. And they're like, oh, you should try this new recipe that we added to our menu. And a lot of times, people are going to be, yeah, sure, I'll try that, with the risk of them not liking the food, right? Or you might be faced with a situation where you have never been to a certain restaurant before, but maybe somebody wants you to try that restaurant with you. And you're probably not going to be like, oh, I don't know, I've never been to that restaurant before, I'm not going to try it. You're most likely going to want to go and try it. You're going to be spending your own money to pay for your food, and you're going to go try that restaurant that your friend suggests. Well, take this from me. I am your friend. I'm your friend on Facebook. I'm your friend on YouTube. I'm your friend on Zoom. Take it from me and my experience. Young Living Essential Oils have done a lot of amazing things. Okay? I can go over my story, a bunch of stories actually, on how they've helped me. And I've already shared that New Year's Eve I went to a funeral. I burnt my hand at that reception, and I took my plate to the table. I put lavender on my left hand, which I burned, and then by 7 o'clock that night, I had no sore hand, no pain, no blisters. It was almost like I was not burned. Now, had I used a lavender oil from like a health food store or anywhere else, I probably would have done worse to my hand. Lavender also helps with my sleepless, restless leg syndrome. Or I don't know how to pronounce that one, but it's called restless leg syndrome, and it's basically nerves that kind of, I don't know, they reflex at night sometimes, and it's usually in my right foot, like my lower, close to my ankle, or even in my ankle. And so, you know, and so what I've done is I know that lavender relaxes, it calms down, it helps to relax you. And so I figure, let's try it, right? Because lavender helps to calm you down. It helps you to go to sleep. It relaxes you. So I thought, if it does that for you, if it calming down, like if you're anxious, it helps you to calm down. It's more like anxiety is more like a nerve system, like a nerve issue. And the restless leg syndrome that I have, it's more like a nerve issue, right? So I thought, I'll try lavender on it. I'll put lavender on. And so I put lavender in those spots where my leg was kind of like jolting a little because of my nerves. I put lavender on there, and immediately it calmed it right down. I had a perfect sleep, and it works every time I use it. The only problem now is I'm out of lavender. I mean, I have a little bottle right here that says lavender on it, but it's empty. The bottle is pretty much empty. So I need to order some more, because like when you use oils for certain things, you just cannot go without it, right? So the point I'm trying to make is that, trust me, when I say stuff works, it works. But it's a decision that you have to make for yourself, right? I mean, if I say, hey, you should come with me to this new restaurant, what are you going to do? You're going to say, yeah. You're going to be willing to go to this restaurant, spend your money on food at a restaurant that you've never tried before, and you have a choice. You will be happy, you'll be loving the food, or you will be unhappy and you will be hating the food. You'll be regretting the fact that you went to that restaurant. Everything we do is a bargain, is it not? So why not try that with essential oils? Like I said, you can get some pretty affordable essential oils at Young Living. If you don't have a lot of money, get one oil and try it. Get, you know, like lemon is like 14 something, orange is like, I don't know, like 13 or 19, somewhere around there. Caraway's $10.75 wholesale. The Plus Line dietary essential oils, they are between $7 and $15. I mean, who cannot afford a $7 or more bottle of oil? Like, you go to an expensive restaurant, you're spending $20 on food that maybe you've never tried before, or a restaurant that you've never been to before, but because your friend says, come with me, try it, you go, you spend that money, and you have the risk of being happy with your new food, with the new restaurant, or disappointed. And the same thing goes with Young Living oils. You can, trust me, you can invest in one bottle of oil, pick one that is affordable to you. Use that one oil, find out what it does for you. You're probably best to get an oil that will help with something that you need. And you're gonna buy that oil, you're gonna try it, and if you like it, then that's great. If it works for you, that's great. Then you know that what I'm saying is true, right? Or if you don't like it, then that's thing that you'll know that you don't have to buy that again. You don't have to buy essential oils again. I mean, there's different oils that you can buy. So maybe one oil you tried didn't work. You might want to try buy another oil another time. Or you might want to consider getting a starter kit, because in the starter kit, you get 10 essential oils, you get one bonus oil, you get this very beautiful diffuser that is right here. Those of you that are on Zoom, you can't see it. And you get 2 Nature Red drinks, and a whole, like, a few other items that come with the starter kit. You know, and that is $199. But I mean, it's a one-time investment, right? If you don't like the oils, then you won't buy again, right? Now, I know that this is a lot, but I mean, you know, put it this way, think about all the online shopping that you don't really necessarily need to do, right? Treat the starter kit like that. So you're gonna invest in something, and you know, you don't know if you're gonna like it or not, but you're gonna try it. But if you can't afford to start a kit, then try one oil at a time. Try it. If you tried a few oils and you feel it doesn't work, or you just don't like them, then you're not going to invest in it again. But at least you're trying it. Let's move on. Because my throat. I'm just kidding. You gotta have a bit of humor on here too, right? You can't just be all 100% serious. Just want to grab a little more of my pop. Now this is not really healthy to drink. This is my weak point. I'm like, you know, Young Living essential oils has other products that they sell that promote healthy living, right? Because all of the cleaning supplies, some of our cooking stuff, some of our personal care stuff are full of chemicals. They're not healthy for you. And again, you know, eating fast food is not healthy for you. Drinking Coca-Cola is not healthy for you. But this is my weak point. But you know what? I'm making the change slowly, right? I'm I'm using essential oils to help promote good health and wellness in me, right? And then my next step is to invest in the Thieves line cleaning products and personal care. So that way I can get rid of all my chemically infused products that are under my bathroom cover. Dish soap, laundry detergents, cleaning products, even toothpaste. We have toothpaste that is good for you. It has no chemicals. It helps to whiten your teeth with because all these products have essential oils in them, right? But they're just to give you a better alternative compared to using the dish soap that you get from the dollar store or from the grocery store, right? All those cleaning products that are under your sink are not good for you. They're not healthy for you because they're full of chemicals. And a lot of people are sick. A lot of times that we're sick is because we use chemicals. We use products full of chemicals. And so, and we not only that, I'm not a mother, I don't have any kids, but people use these things with their kids. Like, like baby stuff, like baby wipes, that's not good. That's full of chemicals. But they have baby wipes at Young Living that does not have chemicals, right? So, it's not, Young Living is not just about essential oils. We have other products. We even have makeup. Savvy mineral makeup that has no talc in it, has no chemicals in it. So, again, pure stuff, right? And our Thieves line for cleaning and personal care. We have also substitutes for that are more healthy choices. Our supplements, right? All of our stuff that they sell have essential oils in them, right? So it's a more healthy choice compared to getting cheap dish soap that has a cheap price tag to it at a grocery store. Yes, some of the stuff are a little pricey, but you're investing into better health. And so you gotta see it that way. We can't be so consumed with, oh, that's so expensive. Here's the thing. When we're talking about our budget, if you really see the value in everything that I'm teaching you guys, and you see the value in these essential oils, what's going on? Anyway. All right. So if you see the value of these essential oils, then, you're going to make it a priority. Because my struggle over the years is compulsive spending on clothing, compulsive spending at the dollar store. And so, even for myself, as someone being on assistance, it's hard for me to get essential oils every month. But I do my best to make it a priority. I was not able to order this month, but next month I'm going to. I have to be able to, right? But, I'm cutting down on the fast food. I do once a month because when I'm doing my errands and groceries, supper time, I'm not cooking, I'm too tired. So I will do fast food. Now, eventually, maybe I can get the fast food out of my budget as well, right? So what I'm saying is that if you do now or later, sooner than later, see the value of essential oils and that it benefits you, you will make it a priority, right? Maybe not everybody can buy a starter kit like this, but let me tell you something. If you invest in the starter kit, you are getting over $450 in value, and you're only spending like $199. With tax and shipping, you're looking at like $230. Now, again, I know that everybody cannot afford a starter kit, but if that's the case, then maybe you want to buy your oils separately. Maybe buy one oil a month, right? Again, we have oils from $10 to $30. Our dietary starts at $7 and something. So I would rather, honestly, to buy, even if it's a dietary oil, because the dietary oils are for your diet, of course, right? They go in your food, they go in your beverages. But still, if that's all you have the money for is the dietary, not that I want to make it sound like essential oils from Young Living are expensive, because they're really not, but if that's all you can afford, you can still apply them on top of you, like topically, you can still diffuse them while you add it into your food and your beverages, right? So, I mean, I would rather buy a $7 bottle of oil compared to fast food, right? So think about that. I'm not trying to be pushy. I'm trying to help you realize. And, you know, like I said, if you see the value of this, then you'll make it a priority in some way, right? You'll make it work. So essential oils production. Producing I think I got a lot of typos here. Producing pure essential oils is very classy. It often requires 700 or 1,000 pounds of raw plant material to produce a single plant. Ever since your oil, for example, I'm pretty sure there's some typos here. For example, basically what it's saying is that you need 700 or even thousands of pounds of raw plant material to produce a single essential oil. Where am I now? For example, you can take 2 to 3 tons of Melissa plant material to produce 1 pound of Melissa oil. This is extremely low use. Anyway, there's some typos there. But anyway, it takes 900 to 15,000 kilo. It takes 500 pounds of rose petals to produce approximately 1 pint of rose oil. It is easy to understand why these oils cost so much. So there are some oils in Young Living, even doTERRA, there are some oils that are supremely expensive, right? Let me just say, I cannot afford Melissa essential oil. I cannot afford rose essential oil because those are like over 200, right, in that range. And that explains why there's so much, right? Because, I mean, you gotta have, what does it say again? Let me just go back and refer back to the last page. It says you gotta have 5,000 pounds of rose petals to produce approximately 1 pint of rose oil. So you gotta have 5,000, or something, 5,000, or was it 500? I'm not sure. Yeah, 1,000. You gotta have 5,000 rose petals to produce 1 pint of essential rose oil, right? So I'm never gonna, I can't say I'm never gonna get Melissa or Rose. And it's funny that I'm saying that because I have a friend named Melissa Rose. So she watches and she's gonna laugh, I know it. But anyway, it's hilarious that she has both of those names in her name and those oil names. So, but anyway, I can't say I'm never going to get them, because I might, like, maybe I can save up to buy them down the road, but right now, it's definitely out of my budget, right? So look at it this way. If you go through a product guide and you see essential oils and you see the really expensive essential oils, don't let that turn you off. Don't let that turn you off, because there's other oils that you can use that are more affordable, right? Like, basically, like, you can get lemon essential oil for like $14 or something. You can get clove oil for like 19 something. You can get cedarwood oil for $19 or something. You can get peppermint oil for like 27. That's not too much. You can get caraway for $10. I mean, there's other options that you can get that are more affordable. So just because you're going through a product guide and you see these extremely expensive oils that are just over the roof expensive to you, does not mean that you cannot use Young Living essential oils. You know, you can make it a goal to save up for Melissa and Rose oil, and I think jasmine is also expensive. You know, but you can save up. Make it a goal to save up. But even still, you can still use Young Living essential oils that are more in your price range, right? It's not a sad story. It's not the end of the story when you go through a product guide and you see these expensive oils. You do not have to be turned off. You can just go look towards the more, right? So don't let that turn you off of some of the prices of them. Just go and look at the more affordable. So we're going to talk about now, we're going to talk about adulterated oils. So the first majority of the oil produced and perfume industry, which is interested only in their qualities. High pressure, high temperature, and chemical solvents are used in this distillation process to produce greater quantities of oil in a shorter time period. And most of these oils carry a pleasant aroma, but they lack therapeutic properties. So again, we're talking about other companies that do not spend the extra money to produce their oils properly at the right temperature, at the right pressure, at the right cost, and therefore, you know, you end up getting more poor oils that do damage to you. All right. Okay. Many of the important chemical constituents necessary to produce therapeutic oils are either flushed off with the high heat or not released from the plant material. So that's why they end up being not very good oils, right? So slide 14, we're actually there right now. So the last part, so we've talked about the seeding, seeding, cultivation, distillation, and now we're going to be talking about the testing part, which is here, and then we're going to be talking about the sealing part. We're almost done, you guys. All right, so testing. At Young Living, each essential oils must pass extensive testing to ensure optimal, while active profile. Young Living uses its own internal lab as well as third-party testing from essential oil experts in other countries to validate the purity and potency of essential oils. So final product testing. Once each oil is approved by quality, it is given to production where it is bottled. So once it's done being tested, it gets sent to where it is bottled, and then it's bottled into these nice amber bottles that I have right here. So, I keep losing my slide, guys. Final product is then the oils are then, okay. All right. So the final product is then sent again to qualified control lab. The oils are then retested for the final packaging, and then some tests done on the wrong oils. I'm not sure if that was to come out right, but I think what it's supposed to say is that after the seeding, after the cultivation, distillation, they're testing it to make sure that the oils meet the Young Living qualifications. Because if they don't, if they're not been cultivated properly, harvested properly, if they're not like distilled properly, then if they don't meet the standards in the testing lab, then it's not qualified therapeutic grade, so therefore it doesn't get sold, right? So that's basically what that's saying. But a lot of them, because Young Living has really good, strong control on monitoring the plant and the oil right from seed to seal, right? They spend the extra money to make sure that they produce therapeutic grade essential oils. All right, and then the next step is sealing, which is the very last part of the seed to seal process. Again, we got these beautifully sealed oils and these amber bottles. So the final step of Young Living seed to seal process is carefully sealing each bottle of essential oil in Young Living's zone clean room facility and shipping it to members worldwide. Ta-da! Ta-da, ta-da, ta-da. They seal it, they bottle it, they seal it, and then they ship it. And so I'm a member, and they ship them to members worldwide. And boy, am I thankful to have these oils. Right. Literally, from the point of the seed dropped into the soil to the essential oil sealed into the amber bottle and Young Living's clean room, the seed to seal process is carefully supervised from beginning to end to ensure quality and purity of Young Living therapeutic grade essential oil. So, it's awesome stuff. All of these oils, they've done some good. And so all you can do is try it yourself, right? And so we'll go to our last slide. So this one here is members from around the world attended cutting and official opening of the distillation farm in Split. I believe that's supposed to be Split, Korea, in October 6, 2015. So again, you can go visit their farms, you can go visit their distilleries. I think you can go visit their headquarters as well, I'm not sure. But that is one of my goals, to go and see a lavender farm, to go see how, like, one of their, like how they do the distillation. Like, I've seen it on videos, but it would be an even added bonus to actually go there. So that's my dream, that's my goal. And so that is basically all. And since we did a part 2 on Zoom, and I know we've gone a little bit long on Facebook, but what I want to do to close is just, next week we're going to be doing lesson 8, and that will be how to safely use essential oils. But a lot of people want to know what the essential oils do for you. So think it this way. Think headaches, think burns, think cuts, scrapes, think sleep, think nervous, anxiety, think depression, think, what else do you think of? Think of rashes on your skin, think of bumps on your shoulder, like I have, basically any ailment that you have, these essential oils will help with, right? So, for example, lavender essential oil is going to help with relaxation. It's going to help with burns, cuts, scrapes, bruises. It's going to help with insect bites. It'll help with like itching. Um, it'll help, like I said, it helped me with the restless leg syndrome, with the nerves twitching my leg like this at night. So I put some lavender on that spot, and it calms it right down. If you can't sleep at night, you can put a few drops of lavender in a diffuser and put the diffuser right beside you, and then that will help you to go to sleep. When I first got my kit, I did that. I put the lavender in the diffuser, like a few drops, and I went right to sleep. So that's what lavender does. You know, where's my clove? Clove essential oil, basically, for me anyway, it helps with my shoulder. So let me just quickly show you guys. I don't like showing my shoulder off, but we're gonna do it anyway. Just gonna pull this down. So about a few years ago, I got into a bike accident. It wasn't serious. It was only a bicycle. It's not like it was a motorcycle or anything. But I got into a bike accident. Funny story, I smelled something weird, so I looked to the side. Next thing I know, I was running a lady over on my bicycle. She wasn't hurt. I fell off. I thought I was hurt, turned out I wasn't, so none of us were hurt. The next day I wake up, I found a bump on my shoulder, and I thought that I maybe had dislocated my shoulder, but that's not the case. So I'm thinking now that maybe this was forming before the biking accident, and so it's basically like water in my shoulder. So I'm actually getting it looked at right now. I did bring it to my doctor's attention before, but they didn't say that, but that's what I took it as. Like they didn't really do anything about it. And so right now I'm getting it taken care of with my doctor. I got an MRI coming up that has not been scheduled yet, but it's coming up. So it's not cancerous, praise the Lord, but it's sickening. It's sickening to have this on my arm because like summertime I have to make sure that I have sleeve on because I'm usually embarrassed by this. So anyway, I'm usually embarrassed by it, and go back to this slide. I'm usually embarrassed by it. I don't like my shoulders showing at all. So what I've been doing, I learned this at my first essential oils class. The person that came and did the class, she talked about like if there's like anything like kind of cancerous. Again, I cannot promise healing or cures. I cannot diagnose or suggest or anything like that. I'm not a doctor, but she said that somebody she knows or herself, somebody had like a cancerous tumor somewhere, and she used frankincense, and that helped it. So what I've been doing is I did start using frankincense. Where is it? Right here. I used frankincense on it, and then lately I found out that clove does the same thing. And so I've been putting that on my shoulder, but I have not done it today yet, so I can demonstrate now. I've basically been just using clove essential oil, but tonight I'm going to do the clove and frankincense essential oil. And I just do it like this. Open it up. I'm going to put it in my other hand, the opposite hand. Do I have anything in here? Oh, I think I'm almost out of frankincense, guys. Not good. I'm just going to shake it out. I'm going to take this hand, the palm of my hand, and rub it over my shoulder. And what I like to do is kind of stretch my arm like this. I know that looks gross, but when it's out like this, it means I can get the oil all over where it is. And I just like to push it in a little bit, make sure I rub it in really well. And then I will there. And then I will take the clove essential oil, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to open this bottle up. These guys, if you guys are wondering, these are child-proof oils. They're, when you get them the first time, it's like, how do I get this open? So it's like, sometimes it's even hard for me to open. So just so you know, they are child-proof bottles. And they do say that there is a expiry date on them, but there's really no expiry date on the oils. It just says that because it's requested by the FDA. So I'm going to put about 3 drops of clove oil in my hand. Make that 4 now. Okay, 5. Sometimes the extra drops come out. So I'm going to go like this again, so that way my bump comes out. And then that way I can rub the clove oil on my shoulder all the way around. Like this. And then what I'm going to do is just rub it right in there. Like I want to make sure it's not, my skin is not shiny, because if it's shiny, it's just that the oils are just on top of the skin. They're not been rubbed in properly. So I like to rub it right in until my skin is dry. When I move my arm like this, it kind of points the bump out, and I can go all around it and make sure I get it on there. There. I'm just going to go ahead and do that quickly. And I want to say that using these, like sometimes I forget. I think it's natural for us to forget. Like sometimes I forget to take my own medication every day, right? So I think it's easy to forget. But when you choose that, you know, you're going to use these every day for whatever you need it for, you know, then you will use them, right? So I try to use these every day on my arm. I'm bringing it in now, just keep on rubbing it. So my arm is not that, like, crazy now, or shiny. It means that the oil is being rubbed inside of my skin. Sometimes when I put clove on, at least the first couple times, I felt like a burning sensation inside. So like I said, next week we're going to be talking about lesson 8 on how to use essential oils safely. I don't have a reaction from this oil, but they do suggest that you dilute the oil with a carrier oil. In Young Living, we have like a B6 vegetable extract that you can dilute this with, and then it'll be more safe, because some of the oils, they will agitate you and give you skin irritation if you're more sensitive to skin, and definitely you want to dilute on children. So that's the clove oil, and there's other oils that you can use too for different things. And so we have, I think, lesson 9, we're going to be talking about single oils, and then lesson 10, we're going to be talking about oil blends. So we'll be able to learn more about what some of the oils do for you. And then we've got a lot of other great lessons. But what I'm noticing now is that as soon as I put the clove on my shoulder, I notice that the bump goes down a little bit, right? So it's not going to be an overnight thing. It's going to be a progress, right? It'll take a few weeks for me to start noticing some changes. But I do notice that it does go down a little bit. So I just got to keep on using these. Also, before I close, frankincense is really good for skincare. Now, I'm really, I'm pretty much empty on frankincense. That's not good. Maybe I have a few drops left, but that's not all. But I love using frankincense for skincare. Like if you have skincare products, you can put frankincense in it. Like you can put the cream on your hand, you can put a couple of drops of frankincense in there, mix it up, and do your skincare. Or like what I do is I use frankincense and cedarwood are both good for skincare. And by the way, cedarwood is also good for like skin rashes and irritations. Like if you have like some kind of skin disease, I'm not talking about like what do you call those things on your face? Acne. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about if you like a dark red rash. I have a friend that has that, and she's been using cedarwood, and it's been helping. And she also has her doctor treating her on that as well. So when I'm talking about essential oils, I'm not saying that we have to replace our doctors. It just means that we go to our doctor less, right? So, but yeah, I use frankincense and cedarwood for skincare. What I'll do is I'll put about 3 drops each into my hand. I'll mix it up with my finger, rub it together, and put it on my skin. Make sure that I don't get it in my eyes. So for I guess I don't want to give too much away. I don't want to give too much away for next week's lesson. Lesson 8 will be about how to safely use essential oils. So again, I just gave a little bit away that you guys, some oils you have to use dilute, especially with children. And then there's different ways that you can use essential oils. We'll be talking about that next week. And that concludes our lesson. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I know Facebook got cut out due to internet problems, but for the most part of it, you guys are here. You guys have been able to watch it. And then, of course, Zoom, I got cut off once, and I was able to come back on. So that's a plus. So anyway, you guys have a really good night. I need to make sure my other video is extracting first. Okay. What happened there? I'm still in my, how do I close that? Oh, I just go like this. Close window. Close this. And it looks like my video has extracted safely, so we are good. So have a good night, everybody. I will see you all next week for lesson 8 on safely using essential oils. Before we do that, I just want to quickly, I almost forgot. I want to see if there's any questions on my video. So just bear with me. Let me put some music on first. So I'm just going to load up my procedures questions, and then we'll go from there. I'm just looking for my video, guys, and I'm going to see if there's any questions, and then we'll end it. Here we are. Let's see if there's questions. any questions. All right. Okay, so I don't see any questions on my video. So it doesn't say that it doesn't show that there's any like comments or questions in the comments at all. It does show me who's been watching, so that's a good thing. So anyway, let me just say that if you still have questions, those of you that are on Facebook, if you watch this video or you watch the replay, if you're going to watch the replay, I strongly advise you, if you maybe just kind of popped in and out tonight and you're watching now, and you haven't watched the whole video, I advise you to just make some time for a couple hours and watch it. Watch the video, get all the information that you need. If there's still any questions, you can still comment on this video, right? Because if you're watching it during the replay, then you're obviously gonna you're watching it, right? So you can still comment. So you don't have to comment now. You don't have to comment tonight. If during the week you watch it and you have questions, go ahead and ask your questions in the comments below. If you are on Zoom, well, not Zoom. I'm using Zoom to record the meeting as well for YouTube. So if you're watching from YouTube, you can also comment below and ask me your questions, and then I'll get back to you with the answers to those. And I might not know all of the answers, but I'll do my best. So that is it, everybody. Have a good night. It's been definitely a journey tonight with technical difficulties, with having to do 2 parts, and it's just been an awesome night, you guys. And I love having the music before. It's like a little before party. So I'll see you guys next week, and invite people. And by the way, one more thing. If you see the value in what you've been learning lately, or if you see the value in what you learned tonight, and you want to make Young Living essential oils a part of your healthy journey, wellness journey, you want to make essential oils, you want to invest, is what I'm trying to say. If you're on Facebook, you can comment below and let me know that you would like to invest. Again, you don't have to get the starter kit. You can just buy one oil at a time, but don't go and sign up to Young Living just for signing up. I'm the one that's talking and sharing all of this for you. So connect through me. You can go to my website, which is www.myl/Veronica Froman, and you can enroll that way. You could sign up as a customer and buy, but just remember that if you sign up as a customer, you are paying retail prices, which is the full price, right? So you want to sign up as a Young Living member so you can get the wholesale. Okay, and then my member ID is 150-22607. So www.myl.com/Veronica Froman, and my member ID is 150-22607. So the spelling of my name is VERONICAFROMAN, and then of course again my distributor number is 150-22607. You can go to my website, and upon signing up you can put my number in there, so that way you can be signing up under me, and that I can help you whatever way you need help, whether you want to do the business or whether you want to use the oils just as part of your wealth and health, as your health and wellness. And if you want a little more wealth, then you can do the business with me too. I would gladly have you do that as well. So those of you on YouTube, I just gave you my address, my web address, and my distributor number. I can't speak tonight. So you can go and sign up yourselves, or you can comment below, and we'll connect through email somehow. But other than that, I mean, definitely, like, get in contact with me somehow. If you're on Facebook, you can also message me privately, and then we'll go from there, and I'll help you get started. All right, so have a good night, everybody, and I will talk to you soon. See you next week.